They said we're gonna put the Popeyes right here. We're gonna put the pawn shop right here. We're gonna put the liquor store right here. We're gonna put the black church, put the white Jesus right here. We're gonna put the projects right here. This is a habitat. Let's put the drugs in the community. Let's go ahead, drop a crate of guns. Anybody having sex that's not married, that's defiled. That's defiled. That's evil. That's wicked. And it ain't funny. It ain't funny. That's why our women ran through. They walk around here with kangaroo pouches between their legs. Because they never learned discipline. They never learned chastity. That's why she got a 10-man tent between her legs. Read that again, come on. It's an evil world we live in. This is going on right now. You got mothers of 3, 4, 5 kids on OnlyFans. They paying a monthly subscription to see somebody mama get naked. Y'all understand? This is what's going on in our communities. That says a mother in what?
A mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children.
STDs, gonorrhea, herpes, chlamydia, crabs. You get these things from having sex. Remember, it says whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. We're reading how God judge. He says the things that's not written. None of those diseases are written in the Bible. Those are the things that God bring upon the black community. Y'all ever heard that in church? I ain't never heard that when I was in church. And it's in the Bible. King James Version Bible. God chose you so-called blacks. This is the 12 tribe sign right here. These are the people of God. Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Our tribe is Judah.
Right.
The white man said, no, I'm gonna call you an American. Are we Americans? How we get over here? How we get over here? Huh? Slave ships. Slave ships. Let me ask you a question, bro. You grew up with both parents? Okay. What you learned from growing up with both parents?
My dad,
Give me Ciroc 3.
From my dad, I learned how
Speak
to
up, bro.
From my dad, I learned how to be strong.
He said from his dad, he learned how to be strong. All praise.
Help when people's in need, cook.
Okay.
And from my mom, I learned how to love strong.
All praise. So he learned. So you would say you got balance.
Yeah.
Okay. This your brother?
Oh, that's my friend.
Okay. You grew up with both parents? Got you. You grew up with both parents? Okay. What you learned from your father?
From my father, I learned piano mostly from my sister. I learned piano.
You learned piano. What else?
My mother, caring about siblings.
Caring about your siblings. So that nurturing from the mother. All praise. What about you, bro? You grew up with both parents? Who you grew up with? Your mom?
Duh.
I'm gonna skip him for right now. Hey, sis, you grew up with both parents? Okay, what you learned from your father?
Learn to be strong and to carry on when things get tough. And from my mama, I learned.
So you learned resilience. Okay.
From my mother, I learned to love.
You learned to love. Okay, that nurturing. Okay, give me Sirach 3. That's very important. Watch this. Start at verse 10. Come on.
Sirach chapter 3 and verse 10. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father.
So a lot of people don't have their father. They say things like he was just what? He was just a sperm donor. You heard that before, right? They say things all, he was a sperm donor. He was a deadbeat. You heard that before, right? Okay, the Bible say don't glory in the dishonor of your father. Watch this, read.
For thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee.
If your father was dishonorable, it's best you don't even speak about it because it don't bring no glory to you by talking about it. Read, watch this.
For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father.
When it said the glory of a man, it's talking about men and women. We get our glory from the honor of our father. The fact that y'all grew up with y'all father, that's an honorable thing.
That's right.
Most of our community, over half, can't say that.
Right.
You understand? Read, come on.
And a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children.
You said thing, it says, and a mother in dishonor. Who want to walk around, you go to school, and a little boy show you your mama on OnlyFans?
Bring it out.
How would you feel about that? How would you feel about that? It's an evil world we live in.
Right.
This is going on right now. You got mothers of 3, 4, 5 kids on OnlyFans. They paying a monthly subscription to see somebody mama get naked.
Bring it out.
Y'all understand? This is what's going on in our communities. That says a mother in what?
A mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children.
A mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children. The children carry that shame. You understand? So the fact that y'all came from a dual parent household, y'all are blessed.
Right.
Y'all are blessed, and y'all gonna be balanced. You understand? Because you get the nurture from the mother, but you got the father's balance and discipline, so you ain't got her emotions. Because women are more emotional than men. You understand? A man can deal with a lot. That's why you say you learn how to be strong, even in tough times. That's that resilience. You got that from your father. That's how it's supposed to be. You understand? It's supposed to be a man over the household. Hebrews 13:4. It's supposed to be a man over the household. A woman was never designed to raise children by herself.
That's right.
You understand? Read this. Come on.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
So anybody having sex that's not married, that's defiled. That's defiled. That's evil. That's wicked. And it ain't funny. It ain't funny. That's why our women ran through. They walk around here with kangaroo pouches between their legs. Because they never learned discipline. They never learned chastity. That's why she got a 10-man tent between her legs. Read that again. Come on.
Marriage is honorable.
I know who to call for FOT though. Come on.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
No. It says God will judge. God will judge. We're reading what God say. We're reading what God says. It says whoremongers and adulterers. What's a whoremonger? What's a whoremonger? Bro, what's a whoremonger? A whoremonger is a man who sleeps with multiple women. You understand? A whoremonger is a man who sleeps with multiple women. Just like a whore is a woman who sleeps with what? Multiple men. Adulterer is somebody who's married and they step out the marriage and sleep with somebody else. That's called an adulterer. You understand? It says whoremongers and adulterers what?
God will judge.
God will judge. For example, how do God judge somebody who sleeps with a lot of people? How do he judge them? Help me out. Y'all look very intelligent. How do God judge him? I can tell he cooking. What you got for me, bro? My 12-year-old young brother. How do God judge people who sleep with a lot of people? How he judge them? Help me out. You drew a blank? Let me give you one more try. 10 seconds. How he judge somebody who sleep around, have sex with a lot of people? How do he judge them? What you say, bro? Still thinking? What you got? What you think, sis? You got a clue?
Like the bad stuff that comes with it. That's
Yeah.
probably why you
What
judge.
comes
Like
with
you do something bad, and then you know there's consequences come after it. But how you judge it,
Right.
it's like you going through it with the consequences as it's going. Like you continue to go through it.
Yeah. Watch this. Read this. Come on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28
61.
and verse 61.
Watch this.
Yes, sir. Also, every sickness.
Every what?
Sickness.
What's another word for sickness? Huh? What's another word for sickness? Disease. You understand? It says every sickness, read.
And every plague.
Plague is another word for disease. Read.
Which is not written in the book of this law. Them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
So, where do AIDS come from? How do people contract AIDS? Huh? How do people contract AIDS?
Women or doing
Sexual transition.
They get it through having sex.
That's right.
How do people get STDs? Gonorrhea, herpes, chlamydia, crabs. You get these things from having sex. Remember, it says whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. We're reading how God judged. He says the things that's not written. None of those diseases are written in the Bible. Those are the things that God bring upon the black community. They always say, oh man, black men and women, they are 3 out of 4 of them have a STD. 3 out of 4 of them got HIV or AIDS. Why are we always the ones heavy in statistics for diseases? Because God is judging us for our wickedness. The other nation, they got boyfriends, girlfriends too. They got homecoming prom too.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
but God is judging you because you God's people. Give me that. And Amos chapter 3. Amos 3 and verse 1.
You know?
We are God's children. Growing up, did your father go outside and whoop somebody else's kids? No. A father deal with his own kids. The God of heaven and earth is our father.
Right.
So he jacking us up because we the ones disobeying his laws. He didn't give his laws to everybody else. Watch this. Read the Bible. Say, come on.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord have spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known.
That part is heavy. I hope y'all caught that. Read what it said again. What it say?
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Y'all ever heard that in church? I ain't never heard that when I was in church. And it's in the Bible. King James Version Bible. God chose you so-called blacks. This is the 12 tribe sign right here. These are the people of God. Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Our tribe is Judah.
Right.
The white man said, no, I'm going to call you an American. Are we Americans? How we get over here? How we get over here? Huh?
Slave ships.
Slave ships. So are we American? No, we ain't American. Are we Negroes? Imagine I take your little brother, right? Put him in the backseat of my car. Drive him across town, right? To a state he ain't never been. What's your name? Now you Charles now. I teach him a new diet. I teach him to do everything that I do. You meet him 400 years later. You understand? You think he gonna think the same? You think he gonna act the same? That's the American Negro.
Right.
We was kidnapped. We was stripped of our own identity. We was taught new customs. Now we celebrating 4th of July. But 1776, July 4th, we was picking cotton.
That's right.
Our foremothers was getting raped,
Right.
tortured. We was getting lynched, tarred and feathered. We was getting each leg tied to a different horse and getting pulled apart.
Bring it out.
We was the original Levi logo. Read that again, come on.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Y'all see that thing? God don't punish everybody for their sin. God punished our people.
That's right.
Because God chose us. He didn't choose everybody.
Right.
You understand that, bro? You understand that? He didn't choose everybody. So when you look at our communities, give me 3 holy children. Give me 3 holy children, verse 13. When you look at our communities, we on the bottom of everybody. Why? Because we the ones who broke God's laws.
That's right.
Because we was the ones who was given God's laws. 3 holy children, verse 13. Read that.
3 holy children, verse 13. To whom thou hast spoken and promised that thou wouldest multiply their seed as the stars of heaven, and as the sand that lieth upon the seashore. For we, O Lord, are become less than any nation.
It says we are what?
Become less than any nation.
We are become less than any nation. You want to know why? Instead of us trying to find out who we are, we want to celebrate Christmas,
Right.
Easter, Thanksgiving, July 4th, whore our sisters out, make babies that we can't take care of, boyfriends, girlfriend, TikTok, Instagram, OnlyFans. That's why. Read 14 again. What did it say?
For we, O Lord, are become less than any nation.
We have become less than any nation. Name one nation that got it bad as us. Name one. The Arab man, they over there driving Lamborghinis through the sand.
Bring it out.
It's the term that says, I got Arab money.
Right.
They own the quickie marts. They own the gas stations.
Right.
The East Indians got gas stations, and they got hotels like crazy.
Right.
The red dot East Indian, him. Apu. He got the hotel industry on lock. The white man got everything. The white man got the earth on lock.
Right.
He's the child of Satan.
That's right.
The Chinese, everything you own, say what? Made where? Made in China. They don't say made in the hood. They don't say made by Raheem, Taekwon, Sharkeisha.
Right.
That ain't what it say. Read what God said again. This Bible is a true book, and it ain't talking to everybody because everybody don't fit this.
Right.
We fit this. Read again. Come on.
For we, O Lord, are become less than any nation, and kept under this day in all the world.
It says we are kept under in all the world. There ain't a place in the U.S. you can go to Well, when you locate the ghetto, you don't find black people.
Bring it out.
You don't find Latinos. Even our Native American Indian brothers and sisters. A lot of them, they mixed amongst Judah. But they're in the hood too. And guess what else? The white man put them on reservations. The white man put them on reservations in their own land. A reservation is the worst part of this country. The white man said, okay, I'm gonna leave that for you.
That's right.
He put them in the bathroom and took the rest of the mansion.
Bring it out.
That's essentially what the reservation is. I'm gonna give you the bathroom. I'm gonna give you the toilet. I'm gonna take the gold-plated bathroom. I'm gonna take the gold-plated master bedroom, though. You understand? That's what happened. It says, when we are kept under in all the world. Why you think when you look at the black community, they all look the same? You ever go to y'all been to the zoo before? Give me a mic before. Y'all been to the zoo before? You been to the zoo before? What'd you see at the zoo? What'd you see?
Giraffes.
You seen giraffes? Okay. The giraffe, what you see around the giraffe? Describe it. Describe the environment.
I forgot it was a long time
Hold
ago.
it. Say it again.
I forgot it was a long time ago.
You remember? It was trees, huh? Trees. It was a cage around it. The giraffe was starving. Was it eating? It was eating, right? Okay. And when the giraffe look up, can he escape? Can he get away? Is he free? So what is he in? If he's not free, then what's his condition? Huh? Trapped. Okay, trapped. Understood. When you look at our communities, what y'all see? Are we free? Give me Isaiah 51. Hold that though. Are we free? What are we then? Trapped. And don't we call it, what we call it? The niggas out here hustling, what they call it? They say I'm in the what? I'm in the trap. They call it trap music, don't it? Let's see what God said. Isaiah 51, give me verse 20, read.
Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 20. Thy sons have fainted.
So it said our sons have fainted. When it say our sons have fainted, we have lost consciousness. We don't know who we are. We call ourselves black, African American, Negro, colored, read.
They lie at the head of all the streets.
When you look at the corners, who you see on these corners?
Bring it out.
Black people.
Right.
It said they lie at the head of all the streets, read.
As a wild bull in a net.
God say we on the corners of the street as a wild bull in a net. If a bull is in a net, what is he? You just said it earlier. If a bull is in a net, he's trapped. The Lord is describing the condition of black men. We on the corners and we feel trapped. Because just like that giraffe, got the synthetic trees,
Bring it
got
out.
the fake grass. It's a habitat.
Right.
That's what the hood is. The hood is a habitat. This was designed. This was on paper before it was built.
Right.
They said we're gonna put the Popeyes right here. We're gonna put the pawn shop right here. We're gonna put the liquor store right here. We're gonna put the black church, but the white Jesus right here. We're gonna put the projects right here. This is a habitat. Let's put the drugs in the community. Let's go ahead, drop a crate of guns, ARs, shotguns, 9s, 4.5s, switches.
Right.
You think Negroes figured out how to turn a Glock into an automatic weapon?
Bring it out.
You think Negroes figured it out? Nah, Negroes ain't figured it out. The white man taught them how to do it.
Right.
You think them niggas selling crack was chemists?
Right.
It take a certain level of advanced chemistry to take the coca leaf and make it cocaine and then make it crack cocaine. It take an advanced level of chemistry to do that. You understand? Hold it. Go back to Micah. Read Micah 4. Watch this. Read.
Verse 11.
Verse 11.
Micah chapter 4 and verse 11. Now also many nations are gathered against thee.
I want y'all to listen up because y'all not getting this in the black church. I want y'all to hear this. Read what God said again. Read.
Now also many nations are gathered against thee.
Now that part right there is important because a lot of times we think it's just the white man. White man, white man, white man. It ain't just the white man.
Right.
All nations hate your guts.
Right.
They all had a part in slavery. We helped build the Great Wall of China. They shipped us everywhere. They shipped us to North America, South America, Europe. We got shipped everywhere. All nations got a part in our slavery. And all nations sit at a long table and discuss how they're going to keep us asleep in a dead state.
Right.
Read.
Now also many nations are gathered against thee that say, let her be defiled.
They say, let her be devout. Keep drugs in the community.
Right.
What happened in the 60s? They started killing our leaders, right? Name some leaders they killed. Who they killed? What happened to Martin Luther King? He got assassinated. What happened to Medgar Evers? He got assassinated. What happened to Malcolm? What happened to Fred Hampton? Stokely Carmichael was going to get assassinated, but he fled to Africa.
Right.
He already knew what was coming. He got up out of there. There's Black Panthers in jail right now, riding away, and they ain't never getting out. Right now, it's Black Panthers in jail from the 60s, 70, 80 years old, and ain't nobody sending them no commissary. The world forgot about them. If you want a people to succeed, why would you kill their leaders? If we free, and the American dream is for everybody, the Statue of Liberty say everybody come here, right? It's a land of opportunity. Why would you kill our leadership? Why would you kill our leadership? Huh?
You don't want them to be free. You don't want them to like know the truth about themselves. You want
Right.
them to be captive.
And right, and if we got leaders, what we gonna do? What was the purpose of our leadership? What's the purpose of having leadership? Leaders guide the people. You understand, right? Leaders guide the people, teach them how to behave themselves, teach them morality, teach brotherhood, teach unity. They give us vision for the future. That's the purpose of a leader. So they killed our leaders in the 60s, right? They put drugs in our communities in the 70s and 80s, right? They hijacked hip hop and gave us this BS that we got today on the radio, where everybody's a killer, but they also using auto-tune. They all humming, moaning. They all half a fag. Zest monsters. They sag skinny jeans. You understand? How you sag skinny? It's which. What y'all gotta understand is it was systematic. Then they started building prisons. Then they brought the rainbow in. The rainbow supposed to be a sign of God's covenant that He won't flood the earth, right? Is that what it means today? No, it ain't what it mean today. What it mean today? Yeah, it mean you a fruit puff, right? Y'all see that Diddy documentary? That thing was diabolical. Read this again, come on.
Micah chapter 4 and verse 11. Now also many nations are gathered against thee that say, let her be defiled.
When they say let her, it's talking about the nation of Israel. They want all of us to stay dumb. They want us in prison. They want us on drugs. They want us single-parent households. They want our men to have felonies. They got a joke to say the black man born with 2 felonies. You understand? He on his 3rd strike the moment he born. That's what they say about us. They say, what do you call a Puerto Rican in a 3-piece suit? May the defendant please rise. They say the only time we dress up is when we in court. Only time the black woman listens is when the judge talking to her. She don't listen to no other man besides the white man. These is all what? Give me that in Deuteronomy 28. This is how all the nations look at us. They say, let her be defiled, and they keep their eyes upon us. That's why, for example, if I make a rap song right now talking about killing a dog, ruff, a dog, would the radios play it? No, the FCC will fine the radio for making animal cruelty music. They say it's inhumane to make that kind of music talking about killing. If you shoot a dog and see what happens, you would be in jail before you could blink. You understand? Kill a dog right now and see what happens. Ask Michael Vick. Michael Vick was a multi-millionaire. But he hurt some dogs. He lost everything for her. Meanwhile, niggas making hundreds of millions of dollars and they playing on the radio music about killing their brothers.
Bring it out.
And the white man said, you can play that though. You can't make music about killing a damn dog, but you can make music about killing my own brother. Y'all understand, right? But rock and roll ain't about killing white folks. Pop ain't about killing white folks. The Japanese K-pop, they ain't about killing other Asians, is it? Nah, but look at our music though. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword.
So God says we will become an astonishment, meaning when the way we viewed as a people, they look at us like, first of all, how these people survive the atrocities of slavery, and we still got half of a right mind. You understand? When you look at what we went through, we weren't supposed to survive that. Then it says an astonishment and a what?
A proverb.
Y'all know what a proverb is? In the Bible, it's a book called what? Proverbs, right? Y'all heard that before? Proverb mean a wise saying, right? Like, for example, they say, the dog that got the biggest bark got the smallest what? Come on, man, Nashville, out there got a little bit of country wisdom, old wives' tale. Come on now. The dog with the biggest bark got the smallest bite. There you go. There you go. That's a proverb. Y'all understand that, right? So they say niggas like chicken and watermelon. Very good. Y'all see that, right? Y'all see that, right? These is all proverbs.
That's right.
They say that the black woman is what? She's loud and what else? Aggressive or angry. The angry black woman, the ABW. You understand? So all these is proverbs about our people. Why? Because we are in a low estate. In all nations, they manufactured this low estate for us.
That's right.
And then they feed the fuel, keep the fire going to keep our low estate going. The rap music, NBA Youngboy, he need to be in a straitjacket.
Right.
He ain't in his right mind.
Nope.
They give that man millions of dollars to make music for our young men. Now you got a whole hood full of NBA young boys without his money.
Right.
And they worship the man. They worship young boy. They say he got a cult following. Y'all heard that before, right? They say if you talk about NBA young boy, somebody might fight you. Y'all heard that before? He said somebody did get to fight. You might get killed for talking about young boy. You might need security. Somebody got jumped for talking about young boy. You see what I'm saying?
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.